What if Naruto was a fallen angel part 2? As we see Jugram descending, falling from the overvoid. Yes, not from heaven. The overvoid itself. Descending down into reality. As Jugram was currently falling, as he noticed his powers were getting sealed away. His powers were getting sealed away, and so were some of his memories. But before all of his memories were gone, you see, it appears that the only thing he let Jugram keep was his beauty. Yes, the presence had stealed everything away from Jugram, but his beauty. He still had his beauty, and he will still remain the most beautiful creation that the presence has ever made. As Jugram was now descending down to his multiverse. Yes, the presence, when he sealed Jugram in a mortal body, he decided to seal Jugram in the multiverse Jugram created, because the presence knows about what Jugram did. He knows Jugram created his own multiverse to best him, to escape his plan or whatever. So he seals Jugram within Jugram's own multiverse. As then Jugram lost all of his memories, and then he was finally sealed within a mortal body. Now time skip. As we see Naruto Uzumaki running away from angry villagers, as they said, "Die, demon! Go back to hell where you came from!" As they were throwing rocks and stones at Naruto Uzumaki. As Naruto, he didn't look like Naruto from canon, you see. He looked like Jugram. He had long blonde hair. He was basically, he looks like Jugram when he was 10 years old. Yes, that's how young he looks. He looks like Jugram when Jugram was 10 years old. As he was running away from the village, as Naruto said, "What did I even do to you people? Why are you chasing me? Why are you throwing rocks and stones at me? Why do you guys beat me every single day?" Naruto said, as then the villagers said, "Because you killed all of our loved ones, demon. When you had your full power and when you destroyed our very village, you killed all of our loved ones. But thankfully, Mito Uzumaki, the son of the fourth Hokage, had held back your power, and so now we can torment you until the end of your life," said some of the villagers. As then Naruto ran into a dead end, as there was no way where to go. As then the villagers, some of the Uchiha said, There's nowhere to run, demon. Now give up and accept your fate." As then the Uchihas did some hand signs, as they said, "Great fireball jutsu!" As they blew it at Naruto, as some of the villagers had knives, and some of the villagers were jonins, as they used some electricity jutsus, as they used fire style jutsus. It was basically like there was like 20 jonins over there, and like 5 of them were Uchihas, as they all charged up their jutsus at Naruto. As when this hit Naruto, the villagers thought Naruto was dead because they saw his corpse. As then they ran away so that the third Hokage wouldn't punish them, because they weren't allowed to do these things to Naruto. Then, with Naruto, as he was in a void of pure nothingness, a void of pure darkness, as then Naruto saw somebody. he saw a lady. As then the lady said, Naruto Uzumaki, it appears your time has come. As then Naruto questioned, what do you mean by that? What do you mean my time has come? Who are you? And why have you brought me here? Said Naruto. As then the lady says, I am one of the endless. I am death. I am the very concept of death. I am the omnipresent force, death, and your time has come for me to claim your soul. As then Naruto said, no, I don't care if you're deaf. I refuse. I refuse to let you claim my soul. As Naruto said. As then Death then said, I admire you, Naruto. For a willpower such as yours, many would shiver in fear. But you seem to deny death. You seem to have a very strong willpower to deny me, to deny my existence. But it's too late though. It's sad that I get to claim your soul. It's sad that I have to see you die. With a willpower such as yours, your potential would probably be infinite. As then, Death tried to claim Naruto's soul. As Naruto said, I refuse to let you claim my soul! As Naruto then screamed out, as bright energy came out of Naruto's very chest. As Death was surprised by this, as she widened by this, as this energy hit her, as this sent her back infinite, beyond infinite meters and distances. As then Naruto was questioning, what is this power? As then once he used that power, once he questioned what is this power, sudden memories came into his head as Naruto was screaming in pain as he was on the ground, as he had a pure headache because these were all the memories. Every last bit of the memory of Naruto came back to him, of his true being, of his name, and what he was in the beginning, of his father, the presence, the being who created every single thing, the being who created everything, and of his brother Michael, and he also had the memories of him going to hell and escaping hell, and he also had memories of him fighting the presence but losing. He also had memories of his powers too. Some of the powers he had created, Zabalance. He also had memories of trying to defeat the presence, trying to escape the plan of the presence, but it was futile. He also had memories of creating his multiverse, his own multiverse to escape the presence's plan. And he also had memories of the presence sealing him within his own multiverse. As then Drugram then stands up and says, so Death, it appears that you're one of my creation, but how dare you try to claim my very soul? I refuse to be taken in by you. I created you, the very concept of death. I created your very existence. So how dare you try to take my soul? As Drugram charged up at Death, as he started choking her. As Death is an omniscient being who knows like when everyone's death is coming, but she felt absolute fear because she didn't know who this being was that was above her, that was choking her. She just thought it was a normal human, like Naruto Uzumaki. She just thought it was a normal being in the multiverse, but he was choking her. So, as then Then Naruto throws Death. As Death felt absolute pain and agony. But at first, Death felt excitement. There was finally one being in the multiverse where she didn't know any knowledge of. Because usually, death is the concept of death. She's omniscient. She knows everything when everything will die. But she finally didn't know. And she usually pretends to not know so she doesn't keep herself in eternal boredom. But now she's not bored anymore, as she was actually quite interested. As Death then tries to attack at Naruto. As then Naruto then said, as he created a sword out of pure nothingness. Yes, out of pure nothingness. Just like how the Presents created the DC multiverse out of pure nothingness. As he then says these two words. What does she not? Yeah, I'm not saying that. He says these two words, the balance. There's one. Once he says that, all the misfortune that Death tried to put on Naruto went back to Death. As then Naruto then said, so it appears that my powers were sealed by the Presents, but it appears I've gotten them back. So let's theoretically say that if I didn't get my powers back, Death would have been able to claim me. That means I now exist outside of Death with all of my powers. Not even Michael exists outside of Death, and he's nigh omnipotent. So that means I'm truly immortal. I can never die. That means existence erasure doesn't affect me too. Even if Michael erases me from existence without Zabalance, without me using Zabalance, that won't affect me in the slightest. At all. As then Naruto then charged up at Death with his sword, aiming at her chin and neck, as Death was in absolute fear. As then Naruto then said, go back to where you returned from. Go back to the realm of the endless. Go back and return to them and never meet me ever again. As then Death nodded. Death nodded in pure fear as she went and disappeared. But before she disappeared, Naruto then said, go tell Sandman I said hi. As then Death nods and disappears in fear. You see, the reason why he told Death to tell Sandman I said hi is because Sandman is his favorite being of the endless that he's created. Sandman, he is the very concept of dreams. You see, humanity's chakra was just a mere aspect of Sandman's power. It wasn't even close to true power. You see, before the multiverse truly started, there was these beings called the Otsutskis. There were these beings called the Otsutskis, and they used to be ruled over by cats in the Otsutski planet. But then they had knowledge of a higher source of power. They knew about their thoughts and beliefs. They knew that if everyone thought of a single thing, it would manifest into reality. This was a part of Sandman's power. The higher access of power was Sandman's power. They didn't know they were accessing Sandman's power, but it was like the universe was granting them their wishes every time they thought of something. It was basically them altering reality. They used to be ruled over by cats, but once they had the belief that they ruled over cats, cats had become their very pets. And then the Otsutskis had thoughts and beliefs of having power, having a power system, having energy itself, having energy named chakra where you can do many things with it. And everyone in the Otsutsuki planet had thought of this idea and thought of it to be as true. And with Sandman's power, it altered the very reality of the Otsutsuki planet and the planet and every planet and galaxy around the universe. Having chakra. Well, the Otsutskis were the ones that had chakra because they believed they had chakra. But the Otsutskis also believed that the rest of the universe had these fruits called chakra fruits that gave you immeasurable chakra. That's how chakra was created. Chakra is just a mere aspect of Sandman's power. Yes. It was a mere aspect of Sandman's power. So the Otsutskis used to be ruled by cats, but with the power of Sandman, they were free from the cat's rule, and they even gained power like no other. And then that was the beginning of Jugram's multiverse. That was the beginning of Jugram's multiverse. As Jugram then personally created humanity in his multiverse, in this one universe. Jugram didn't know that the President knew about his multiverse, but when the President saw Jugram's multiverse, he liked humanity, and it was his favorite race of them all. Usually he doesn't interfere with things, but he might interfere with Jugram's multiverse if things go too far. The President thought of this in his head, in his thought. Now back to the void. Naruto was standing in that void and says, "I don't like the new title the President gave me or my father gave me. I want a different title. I want my old name back. I don't like this new name he gave me." Then Jugram then altered his very title. Naruto altered his very title into being Jugram. Yes, his name was Naruto. He literally altered the very narrative of the story, of the President's story. He altered it from being Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Kaze to being Jugram, his old name back. And he altered the existence of everybody in the multiverse. Not in the multiverse, but in the Hidden Leaf Village. To know that his name is not Naruto, to know that it's Jugram. They don't even know the name of Naruto. They know about Jugram. They know about every single event of what they did to Jugram or Naruto still remains the same. It's just Naruto's name now is Jugram. And then Jugram then says, "So it appears that my family has abandoned me in this shitty village. It appears, huh? So they thought of my sister as the child of prophecy and abandoned me here to quote-unquote train her. They thought of my sister as the child of prophecy. And they abandoned me and took her outside of the village to train her, and she became a hero. To train her by the 3 legendary Sonin, and she became a hero amongst this village for sealing the quote-unquote the Kyuubi's power, or whatever it is. And it appears that Minato, or should I say my fake father, has sealed the very Nine Tails, the very soul of the Nine Tails inside of me. Actually, no, I'm changing that. I don't like that either. said Jugram. I don't like that he sealed the soul of the Ninetales inside of me. I don't like how the presence wrote this story of me getting sealed. I've already escaped all of his seals for him sealing me for all of eternity or whatever. I don't like that. I don't like that he put the soul of the Ninetales inside of me. I don't even want to talk to the Ninetales. I see him as an irrelevant creature. As then Jugram, with the snap of his fingers, altered the very narrative. He altered the very narrative of the story and rewrote the origin of his mortal life, saying that Mito Uzumaki, his sister, was the one who got sealed with the full power and the soul. We have a flashback as there was a big nine-tailed beast upon the entire Hidden Leaf village, as it was destroying pure mountains, as every villager was in pure, absolute fear, even the shinobi, because that was a whole biju. As then the shinobis in the village reunited and tried to team up against the biju, but that did nothing. But the Yondaime Hokage came in, and he held the biju back by summoning Gamabutsu to fight the biju, as the biju tried shooting a tail beast bomb. But the Yondaime Hokage used his flying rides to teleport the tail beast bomb to the forest area, thus not harming any of the Hidden Leaf village. As once the Yondaime Hokage did that, they cheered for him. Then the Yondaime Hokage went to fight the masked man, because he was the very cause of this, for unleashing the Nine Tails. And he fought the masked man. As the masked man, he was phasing through all of Minato's attacks, but then Minato used the Rasengan and Flying Raijin and attacked the masked man, making him retaliate and making him use his Kamui to teleport back to the Kamui dimension. As the masked man said, "Damn you, Minato!" As he was tired and exhausted. As Minato with the Nine Tails. As then Minato used an alternate seal to seal the Nine Tails away without the Reaper Death seal. It is an alternate seal that he has made, and he used it to seal the Nine Tails and his two children, but he only sealed it one children, you see, because Naruto had blonde hair, so he just thought that he got the Namikaze genetics, so he thought that Naruto wouldn't be able to handle the Kyuubi. And Mito had red hair, so he thought she would be able to handle the Kyuubi in his full might and wrath. And he sealed 100% of the soul and the power within Mito Uzumaki. As after he did this, Tsunade went and brought Kushida to the hospital and checked her medical rate. Time skip. In that flashback, Minato announced to the village that Mito Uzumaki, my very daughter, is keeping the Biju's power back. She had sealed the very Biju. Biju's power. So the Biju's power is now stuck inside of Mito, which means the Kyuubi doesn't have his power anymore. And then Minato said, "I've sealed the very soul into my own son, Jugram." So the Kyuubi can be separated from its power. So Minato. And he also made this lie so like there wouldn't be any hatred towards Mito, as everyone screamed out Minato's name in pure cheer and in joy, as they cheered his name, as they said, "Praise Mito, the Yonaime's children. She is the very She is the very being who saved us from the mighty Kyuubi, as some of the villagers said as they was cheering Minato's name. As then time skipped. A few hours later, Jiraiya had bursted through the Hokage's office. And then he said, "Minato, I have an important prophecy to tell you." And then Minato said, "What is this prophecy?" So did Kushida. And then Jiraiya then said, "I have a prophecy from the great Toad Sage, saying a being will be born from the yellow flash and the red death of Konoha. This being will be the very son, the son of God himself, the son of the God of all of us, the son of the very being who created all of us, all of existence. And he will have the power to he will have the power to judge this world, whether it's worth saving or if it's worth destroying." And then when Minato and Kushida heard this, they thought it was Mito because she had the Nine Tails power. So did Jiraiya. And then Jiraiya recommended Minato, if Mito is truly the child of prophecy, and if she has this power, then we should train Mito for 12 years outside of the Hidden Leaf Village. Not 12. We should train Mito for 14 years outside of the Hidden Leaf Village, so that she can have full control of the Kyuubi's chakra, and so that she could save this world from great catastrophes." And Minato nodded. And then Minato said, "What about Naruto? I mean, not Naruto, Jugram." And then Jiraiya then said that we have to leave. "I'm sorry, Minato, but we have to leave him as an orphan in this village for the time being, because he might interrupt Mito's training and disrupt the prophecy from being true." As Kushida was against this at first, but when Jiraiya explained that he might disrupt the prophecy, she was okay with it. But there was one person in the room that wasn't okay with it. And then the Yondaime said, "Are you serious, Jiraiya? What are you thinking? And Minato, you possibly cannot go with this plan. To leave your own son to be in this village for 14 years without having any parents? What if you all just come back to the village? Then you just say, 'Hey, we were your family and we abandoned you for 14 years. You think he's gonna take that lightly? And then plus, the villagers might take their rage out on Jugram, because you said that he had the very soul of the Kyuubi. They might take their anger out on him. This is not a good idea, Minato. Please reject this idea.' And then Minato said, 'Sarutobi Sensei, I have to do what needs to be done. I have to do what needs to be sacrificed to save the world. So what if one person is sacrificed? It will benefit the whole world in the long run, because it will save the whole world.' Because then when Minato said this, the third Hokage was angry. Then, now we have a time skip to a few days later, as Minato, Kushida, and Jiraiya then announced to the whole village, 'We will be leaving Konoha to train our daughter, Mito Uzumaki Namikaze, to teach her how to use the Kyuubi's power, because she is the very child of prophecy that is once destined to save this world. Once be destined to save this world. So we will train her in Mount Miyaboku and Uzushield, so she can learn Sage Mode and learn how to use the Kyuubi's power to defeat upcoming threats like wars and great catastrophes that can destroy the very world itself. For 14 years, as all of the village cheered for Minato, as they said, Thank you, young Daim Hokage, for all you've did for us, for all the saving you did for us, and etc. As then, when Minato left, Naruto's life had been hell. The villagers have been abusing him, giving him glares, throwing rocks at him, even beating him up. And because of his beauty, some of the female villagers, I don't want to say this, but some of them raped him. Yes. Some of them raped Jugram because of his beauty. Because even though he had the Nine-Tails demon, they couldn't even lie to themselves. When they saw Jugram, he was beautiful. Like the most beautiful thing they've ever seen in their life. And the most beautiful thing they will ever see in their lifetime. So some of them made their way with Jugram and forcefully put themselves on him and raped him. Some of the females you might find in the hot tubs when Jiraiya's peeking at them raped him too. And Jugram didn't recover from that until now, when he's fought in death. As then, outside of the flashback, Jugram then said, "I cannot wait to have Minato and Kushina's souls. Once they die, I cannot wait to put the mark of death on them. Once I put the mark of death on them, I will put them in hell for all of eternity, and I will torment them, torture their souls for all of eternity for abandoning me. I cannot wait to have the last laugh. But that is not my true goal. I still remember, even though I'm in the presence of neglected story or whatever, that's not my true goal. I still want to escape his narrative. I want to escape his very plan." As then Jugram leaves the dark void and returns into the same alleyway in Konoha. And that will be the end of What If Naruto Was a Fallen Angel and Was Abandoned, Part 1. Yes, last part was Part 0. This is Part 1. Bye!